What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Mark. I'll be your host on this episode today. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about six stimulus proposals that are on the table right now. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. Like I said, guys, my name is Mark. I appreciate you tuning in with us. We're going to talk about six stimulus proposals. These are six second-round stimulus proposals, say that 5 times fast, that are currently on the table right now for American citizens. Now, these are big ones. We're not 100% sure if they're going to pass, but they're on the table right now, and people are pushing for them. One thing I need to say is if you haven't got your stimulus check up until this point, there's a website, irs.gov, that you can go on and you can put in your information and search for your stimulus check. Now, you'll only get a stimulus check if you did pay 2008 or 2019 taxes. That's 2018 or 2019 taxes, or if you were dependent of somebody that paid 2018 or 2019 taxes. If you receive Social Security from the government, you will also get a stimulus check as well, even though you didn't pay taxes, but you still receive benefits from the government. That's a guaranteed way that you'll still get a stimulus payment. If they did not have your bank account information in their system, they would have cut a paper check and mailed it to you. In that case, the paper check would have taken a few extra weeks to process and make it to your address. So there are people just as of a couple days ago that have reported that they've received their checks in the mail. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, cross your fingers, say a few prayers, and hope for the best, because I think you'll get them in the next week or so. If there was wood, I'd knock on it, but there's not right now. So we're going to go into the 6 proposals that are on the table right now. So the first proposal we're going to cover is the Democrats' HERO Act. Now, in this particular proposal, Nancy Pelosi announced on Tuesday that her party's latest proposal wants to help the U.S. economy through COVID crisis. And here's what it states. Every American citizen, tax-paying citizen, is going to include a second round of $1,200 stimulus payment. Now, different than the first round where each of your dependents got $500, the HERO Act would enable a clause where the dependents would get a $1,200 check. So you, as the one that is claiming the dependent, would get $1,200, and the dependents underneath you, up to 4, would get a total of $1,200. So for a family with 4 children, you, your spouse, and your children, there's a cap. You would get up to $6,000 per household, which is not bad if you ask me. And now, let me just make this disclaimer. Stimulus payments, the way that they're doing the stimulus is just causing more debt for the United States of America overall. And somewhere that debt is going to have to be paid back, whether it's higher taxes or other means of garnishing and gaining that money back. So, I mean, the first round of stimulus, in my opinion, was healthy. Second round, maybe not so healthy for the economy. If this pandemic goes longer through the summer and maybe into the up-and-coming school year, and more stimulus need to be enacted, and we get a third round or a fourth round, they could be devastating. So, as much as it is good getting that money, you don't always want to get that money from the government, because it just means the government is just printing more money and putting us in a worse place, and our children and our children's children are probably going to suffer because of that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, it's not free money. It's coming from somewhere. Somebody's going to have to pay it back. So just think of it that way. So it does say right here that each dependent includes $500 stimulus, but that's actually wrong. In the HERO Act itself, it says that it would provide $1,200 to every family member, including children, up to $6,000 per household. So I just wanted to clarify that as well. The second stimulus is the Emergency Money for the People Act. Now, in this stimulus package, over the next 6 months, there would be a proposed $2,000 a month stimulus for families, right? So it would be $2,000 a month for the next 6 months and possibly up to 1 year. It could provide also a $500 per dependent would be on top of that $2,000 a month. So, I think there's a cap of like 4 or 5 dependents, but I mean, ultimately, a family of 4, or a family, a husband and a wife with 3 or 4 kids could get a hefty paycheck every single month, $5,000-$6,000 every single month, and so that's on the table as well. Now, those two, the HEROES Act and the Emergency Money for the People Act, are the closest to being passed. I think the Emergency Money for the People Act with the $2,000 a month is a little more far-fetched, because that's going to take a lot of money from the government to keep that stimulus payment afloat. Think about how many people in the United States of America are going to get that $2,000 a month plus all the $500 on top of that per dependent. That's more money than you could even imagine, and I don't think we want to go that direction. I don't think it would be healthy for the government to do that. The third stimulus package we want to talk about is the Sherrod Brown's plan. Now, this is a Democratic proposal by Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio, and he is calling for $2,000 per quarter payment instead of a $2,000 per month. And there's a couple different, payment plans that he's considering, or that he's proposing as well. It's either $2,000 up front, a second payment of $1,500, and then a quarterly payment of $1,000 per month. And they're kind of flopping back and forth with numbers as well. So that is the third stimulus package that is on the table right now. And again, $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month is still a lot of money, plus all the dependents on top of that. So, it may be a little far-fetched. I don't know if that's something that a lot of people would agree on when it goes and tries to pass through all the different, the House and the Senate and all that stuff. The fourth stimulus proposal we want to talk about is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. Now, the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act does not propose to give anybody money in their pocket. Rather, it's proposing to cancel rent or your mortgage payment for up to a year. Now, if you are living in a house, you're paying rent, they want to cancel your rent payment for up to a year. Could be good. If you own a house and you have a mortgage payment, they want to cancel your mortgage up to a year as well. Could be good. But then again, people who own multiple houses would benefit the most from that. People who own one house wouldn't benefit as much as people that have, lots of condos and lots of real estate investment property. So it's kind of, there's an unfair advantage there for people who are wealthier that have more money, because they're going to not be paying all that money for the homes that they own. Now, I heard that there is some stipulations that it could only be the house that you're living in. But then again, if you're living in a mansion that you pay $15,000 a month for, and you all of a sudden don't have that payment, and you have another person over here that pays $1,500 a month, who wins with that stimulus? It's the person that's paying more. So there's a little bit of an unfair balance in that proposal, which I don't think is going to pass either. That's the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. And the fifth stimulus package we're going to talk about is the Getting America Back to Work Act. The Republicans are not keen with the second stimulus payment, right? But have recognized that there is a need to do something. So in this act, they're actually proposing that there would be a payroll deduction or a payroll tax rebate, all right? So that would only affect people who actually work a job. It wouldn't affect anybody that's unemployed. It would not affect anybody that, doesn't work. It wouldn't affect people that are in college. Maybe they're, not being claimed as dependents, and they're in college and they're just maybe, trying to get through college, and it wouldn't benefit anybody unless you're working a solid 40-hour a week full-time job. Unfair advantages, unfair benefits, because it's not overall everybody being taken care of, like the original $1,200 stimulus package that covered everybody, no matter if you were working, if you weren't working, and it covered your dependents as well. So I don't know how far that'll get, because again, it's only catering to a small, I wouldn't say small, but a very select group of people. And the sixth and final stimulus package that we're going to talk about is the stimulus loan of $5,000 a month. Ooh, lots of light bulbs go off, lots of bells, lots of whistles, right? You think $5,000 a month, that sounds great, but there's a catch to this one. They're proposing that this $5,000 a month comes out of your retirement benefits, out of your Social Security account. Now, if you don't know this, every American that works gets Social Security taken out from their check, and it gets stored away into this account. And it's just there, and you can't access it until you're at retirement age, 65 and up, I believe it is. And once you hit 65 and up, it's supposed to be a guaranteed payment for you to take care of you. Obviously, it's not going to be a lot of money. It may only be a couple $1,000, $1,000, $1,500. It depends on how much you worked over the years, how much you put away into that account. And it's one of those things that you can't really control. It just happens. A lot of people, a lot of younger generation millennials may not even know that they have security, Social Security being taken out on a regular basis from their paychecks, unless they're actually looking and paying attention. But there is an account, and when you hit retirement age, the government then sends you Social Security payments, Social Security check every single month. It's not going to be enough to really live off of, but it'll be something to go towards helping your bills or rent payment or whatever you need to do when you're that age. So they're proposing taking $5,000 out of your Social Security, giving it to you, and then not paying you for the first couple months of after you retire. So say you don't work anymore, you retire, you're 65, and you want to cash in on that Social Security payment. Well, for the first 3, 4, 5 months, however much it takes to build up to that $5,000, they're not going to pay you. They're going to pay themselves, and they're going to fill their pockets up. The government's going to fill their pockets up with that money that they gave you 20 years prior, 30 years prior to that. So that's kind of an iffy one for me. I don't know if that's something that would actually happen or take place. There's pros and cons to that, because we're not creating any more debt. We're actually pulling from funds that supposedly are already there and waiting for us. So, I don't know. I would be sort of for the $5,000 coming out of your Social Security, because a lot of people say in 20, 30 years from now, there may not be any Social Security. It may be dried up. You may not even be getting it. There's been rumors going around for years that Social Security is just not going to be a thing in the future from now. So, I don't know. I'm not a financial guy. I'm not giving you any advice. I'm not telling you where to put your money or how to take your money. I'm just a guy on YouTube, just trying to relay some information for those who are on the run, for those who want just a quick rundown of all the different plans, because it could be very confusing for a lot of people out there. So I appreciate you guys staying until the end of this video. If you haven't done so and you got any type of value out of this video, please hit that subscribe button and demolish that like button, because it definitely boosts the algorithm so that this video gets seen to more people. If you haven't checked me out on TikTok yet, go check me out. 𝗟𝗡𝗅𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗡. That's my handle, 𝗟𝗡𝗅𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗡 on TikTok. I have a little over or right around about 200,000 followers, and I'd really love it if you followed me there as well. So until the next video, guys, make sure you stay healthy, stay active, stay adventurous, and I'll see you all later.